we'll understand what is ethics. Ethics is nothing but the moral values that determines the behavior of people. So when the manager exhibits good managerial ethics, what happens is the business can survive in the long run. You want to do some contribution on behalf of your company to the weaker section of the society. This is called business social responsibility. Hello everyone, this is Purna Chandra, Faculty, Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram. So we are dealing with the subject Management Principles and Practice, and today is your second session. That is the last session in Unit 5, and this is your last session in MPP, that is Management Principles and Practice, pertaining to the syllabus. So we are dealing with the chapter Coordinating and Controlling. So in the previous class, what we understood is the coordination, meaning, characteristics of coordination, and 8 different principles of coordination. And also we understood what is controlling and steps in controlling and various techniques of controlling and modern techniques of controlling and essentials of an effective control system. So in today's class, what we will be dealing is managerial ethics, business social responsibility, that is also known as corporate social responsibility, and green management, the actions for green management. So we will start. So we are starting with managerial ethics. So what is basically managerial ethics? We will understand here. So it is a set of moral principles or belief that affect the behavior of people inside the organization. So before we understand what is managerial ethics, we'll understand what is ethics. Ethics is nothing but the moral values that determines the behavior of people. So for example, in the classroom, the teacher asks the student not to copy during examination. So what happens here? If the student is having this ethics, they will not copy. That is, if they have the moral values, they don't copy. There are certain students who don't have ethics, they don't have moral values. So what they will do, they will try to copy in the exam. So this is an example for ethics. So managerial ethics means it is a moral principles or belief that affect the behavior of people inside the organization. That is, what moral values or belief the manager is having inside the organization. That is called managerial ethics. So it is concerned with doing the right thing for the employees. That is, it should be employee oriented. So it should be doing right things to the employees, like what? So example, good compensation. So compensation is nothing but the salary which you are giving to the employee should be good and fair. And also benefits like insurance for employees, like on behalf of your organization, you can make health insurance for the employees. On behalf of your organization, you can give them health insurance or any other kind of insurance that is helpful for employees. This is an example for managerial ethics. So next, there are types of managerial ethics. So managerial ethics are broken into 2 types. So one is based on legal issues and the second one is based on moral issues. So we will deal one by one. So first we will go for managerial ethics based on legal issues. So hired for a fair process. So when you are recruiting or hiring people for work, you should hire them for a fair process, that is legal. So you should not recruit them for an illegal process. So when a manager is hiring people, he should make sure that they are recruited for a fair process and not an unfair process. Second one, giving a safe working condition. That is, for example, when workers are working in a factory premises, there should be certain safety precautions that has to be given. For example, the workers who are dealing with boilers or they have to deal with fire, they should be given necessary gadgets like helmet, glares, jacket and boots, so that their safety is ensured. This is giving a safe working condition. Then fair pay. Obviously, when you are giving salary, there should be fair pay. It is not that you make them work for 1 lakh and you are giving them only 20,000. So that is not a fair pay. So when you are making the workers to work for 1 lakh, you should give them 1 lakh. That is fair pay. This is regarding legal issues. Then managerial ethics based on moral issues. So offering maternity leave. So if any employee, she wants a maternity leave, so you should grant her the maternity leave, and you can assure her that after the maternity leave, she will be recruited back into the organization. So this is maternity leave. Dealing with customer complaints. So suppose any customer approaches you regarding any complaint pertaining to a product that has been sold to him. So what do? You deal with them in a very polite manner. That is, you replace the product if the problem is genuine, or you can also give any other assurance from your side. That is, you can replace the product or refund the money back to the customer. This is another thing of moral issues. That is managerial ethics based on moral issues. So next we go for importance of managerial ethics. So the first one is maintains good image and goodwill. Obviously, when the manager is having very good ethics, what happens? There's a good image that has been portrayed to the people in the society. So this happens to create a goodwill of the organization. So better relations. So when the manager is having good managerial ethics, there is good relations with the customers, the employees, the suppliers, etc. Next, long run survival. So any organization to survive on a long run, there should be a goodwill. So to attain that goodwill, there should be good ethics inside the organization. The manager should exhibit good managerial ethics. So when the manager exhibits good managerial ethics, what happens is the business can survive in the long run. Then fair competition. So there should be fair competition. So any business means there will be n number of competitors. To compete with them, you should be ethical. That is, the manager should have good managerial ethics. So you should compete with them in a fair manner and not in a unfair manner. So if you are not having managerial ethics, then what happens? You are competing in an unfair manner. So one point of time, it will be a negative to your organization. So whatever competition you are doing, you have to do it in a fair manner. Next, less government interference. What is the meaning of this? So if you are doing everything in a fair manner, if you are having very good ethics, then the government will not interfere. So this is less government interference. Better working conditions. That is, when you are having good managerial ethics, you are giving better working condition. So better working conditions means better performance. Better performance means quality products. Quality products means more profit. That is the meaning. Increases productivity and profitability. So obviously it increases productivity and profitability. So when you are having good managerial ethics, you give them better working conditions, which increases the productivity. When productivity is increased, profitability also increases on its own. So this is the importance of managerial ethics. So next we go for factors influencing ethical behavior. Family influences. Obviously, if the parents inculcates good values in the child when it grows up, it behaves in an ethical way. So the family influences is a contributing factor. So if the family, the parents are only frauds, criminals, and they are only up to antisocial activities, the child also behaves in an unethical way. Next, schooling and education. The schooling, how the teachers inculcate moral values, beliefs in the child, also reflect in ethical behavior. And also the education, what the child is subject to, also decides the ethical behavior of the child. So next one is desire to preserve and enhance status. So you want to preserve your status, or you don't want your status to be hampered. So you behave in an ethical way. Like what? So in front of everyone, you want to preserve your status, you want to maintain your respect. So what happens is you behave in a ethical way. Next, loyalty to family, friends and company. So if you are loyal to your family, friends and company, you behave in an ethical way. Suppose you are not loyal, then you behave in an unethical way. Next, company work culture. So now the company work culture is that you should not smoke in the premises, and also you should not use your mobile phones while working. So to maintain the company work culture, you behave in an ethical way. So next, professional ethics. What is professional ethics? Profession means you're a doctor, that is your profession. You're a lawyer, that is your profession. You're a manager, that is your profession. So what professional ethics is? Being a manager, you should not cheat, you should not do forgery, or you should not indulge in any kind of antisocial activities. So to follow this professional ethics, he behaves in an ethical way. Next, cultural and societal values. So obviously there are certain culture and social factors that determines the behavior of the people. So if the culture or the social factors make a person behave in an ethical way, so that is also a contributing factor. Next, media influences and coverage. That is, when a person is giving a speech and it has been covered by the media, he tries to behave in an ethical way just to showcase his recognition or status. He doesn't want his recognition or status to be hampered in front of people because it has been broadcasted on the television. There's a media coverage that will broadcast whatever is speaking. So just to portray himself in a positive way, he behaves in an ethical way in front of media. Next, legal constraints. That is, if you behave in an unethical way, there are certain legal rules. So you might end up in jail, or you might have to give a lot of compensation. So to avoid that, you behave in an ethical way. Enforcement, legal, professional or religious enforcement also leads to a person behaving in an ethical way. So these are the factors influencing ethical behavior. So next, factors that determine unethical behavior. Pressure to succeed. So pressure to succeed, I'll give an example. Now there's a salesman, he has got a target of 100 per day. He has to sell a particular product, 100 products per day. Now when he is going to make a sale, he might tell certain features that are not included in the product just to make the deal. So here what is happening, just for the pressure to reach his target, he is behaving in an unethical way. He is telling features that are not in the product. Second, employees are afraid to speak up. Now for example, in a classroom, a person is copying and this has been noticed by another student, but the other student is afraid to speak up. So inside the organization also, certain workers are least interested in work. They are violating the rules and regulations, but still the other employees are afraid to speak up. So here what is happening? They are promoting unethical behavior. Then lack of training. If the workers are not trained how to behave ethical or how to eliminate unethical behavior, obviously they might behave in an unethical way when they are supposed to behave in an ethical way. This is lack of training. There is no policy for reporting. Suppose there is no rules and regulations or policy that if any person behaves in an unethical way, it has to be reported. So then what happens? Because there is no rules and regulations, unethical behavior will not be reported by the co-workers or employees. That is one more thing. Manager setting bad examples. That is, if the manager himself behaves in an unethical way, obviously the other subordinates or employees also tend to behave in an unethical way. This is the manager setting bad examples. So next, factors that determine unethical behavior. So unethical behavior can be countered by having clear policy regarding code of conduct. That is, There should be clear-cut policy regarding how the people has to behave inside the organization. If there's any violations, then there should be certain punishments like loss of pay or anything, retirement or retrenchment. That is one thing. Explaining your expectations. That is, you should be clear-cut in giving clarity regarding what behavior you expect inside the organization, so that they don't behave in an unethical way, they behave in an ethical way. Next, giving training. And also you should train them how to behave inside the organization. It is not just making policies, you should also give them training how to behave when and how. This is the thing. So next we go for the topic business social responsibility. So what is it actually? So an organization efforts to make decisions and perform them for the benefit of the society is known as social responsibility. That is, you want to do some contribution on behalf of your company to the weaker section of the society. This is called business social responsibility. And in business social responsibility, the business will respect values and aspirations of the society. That is, you are contributing something to the society. So there are certain aspirations inside the society which you are fulfilling. And also, social responsibility in business is also known as corporate social responsibility. So this is the basic meaning of business social responsibility. So next, examples of business social responsibility: factory not disposing chemical and waste in water. That is, you don't want to pollute the environment like water pollution, soil pollution or air pollution. So you're taking certain steps to minimize the pollution. That is a business social responsibility. Improving working hours and working conditions of employees. That is, you are giving them good working environment and good working hours. That is, you are not asking them to work overtime, you are not asking them to work on holidays, you are giving a fair working hours and working conditions. Next, donating part of profit to educational service to poor. That is, you are sponsoring education to poor kids. If any poor people, they cannot afford education for their kids, on behalf of your company, you can sponsor them education. That is an example of business social responsibility. So next, arguments for business social responsibility. So first one is business is a part of society. That is, obviously business is a part of society. The customers are from the society, the suppliers of raw materials are from the society, and the employees are also from the society. So in return, you should do something to the society. So you should do some charity to the society. That is, business is a part of society. Long-term self-interest of business. So what happens is, when you are doing business social responsibility, there is a good image or goodwill that is created in the eyes of the people in the society. And what this will do is, this will help in long-term sustenance of the business. That is the second point. Then moral justification. What is moral justification? The society is giving you the raw materials, the society is providing you the employees or the workers, and the society is also giving you the customers. So in return, you should give something. That is, you should do something to the society in the form of charity. That is moral justification. Creating better public image. So when you are indulged in business social responsibility or corporate social responsibility, you create a very good image in the public. So that is creating better public image. Avoidance of government regulations. That is, when you are doing business social responsibility, what happens is, government will not interfere in your activities, because there is a government regulation which states that any company that is doing minimum 5 crore net profit, that is net profit per year, has to contribute 2% of 5 crores. 2% has to be contributed to CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. So 5 crore 2% means it is nearly 10 lakhs. So it is nearly 10 lakhs. So this is the government rules. So if you're doing it, government will not interfere. Otherwise, they will have to interfere in your activities. Next, maintenance of the society. So you're doing something to the society. You're also checking the antisocial activities happening in the society. So you're also a part of maintenance of the society. So this is regarding arguments for business social responsibility. So next, arguments against business social responsibility. What are the different arguments here? Contrary to basic function of business. That is, what is the basic function of business is minimum cost, maximum profit. Now what you are doing, part of profit you are giving as charity. You are not getting anything in return. So there is no return on investment you are making to the society. So it is contrary. This is a statement that is against business social responsibility. Then conflict with profit motive. So any motive of the business is making profit. Here what is happening? Your hard-earned profit has been given free of cost to the society. So there's a conflict with the profit motive. Distortion in resource allocation. That is, what is happening is you're contributing something to the society, and now what you're doing is in the procurement of raw materials, you're making some adjustments. That is because you're given money to the society. That money you're compromising on your raw materials. That is, you might go for lower grade of raw materials. So this is called distortion in resource allocation. When this happens, what happens? The quality of the product will come down. That is the meaning. Imposition of business values. So basically what happens is, the basic business value is make lots of profit. Here, because you are contributing to the society, it is against the business values. That is, your hard-earned profit has been given free of cost to the society, which the business doesn't want. Next, inefficiency in the system. Obviously, there will be inefficiency. Efficiency means minimum cost, maximum benefit, or limited resources, maximum output. So here, because you're compromising with the raw materials and also you're compromising with the workers, payment to the workers, there is inefficiency in the system. Then operational problems. Obviously, you're given money to the society. To compensate with that, you're going for a middle-end technology. You're not going for the high-grade technology. Then what happens? There might be operational problems. And finally, the product will not be of good quality. When product is not of good quality, what happens? You cannot sell it to the people on a very large scale. So these are the arguments that is against business social responsibility. We go for the next topic, that is green management. Green business is an enterprise that has minimum negative impact on global environment. That is, you want to safeguard the environment. So you want to go for eco-friendly methods of production. This is called green management. That is, no soil pollution, no water pollution, and no air pollution, and you come out with the product. So this is green management. They have progressive environmental and human rights policies. That is, they follow the guidelines of the government regarding environmental pollutions. So this is called green management. So next, actions taken for green management. To conserve or for green management, what are the different actions we, being the citizens or managers or employees, whatever it is, can take so that we ensure that there is greenery everywhere. So the first one is assessing current working condition. That is, you check the current working condition in the business, whether it is causing any kind of pollutions like soil, water or air. Suppose if you are not, then it is fine. Suppose there is some soil pollution, water pollution or air pollution on behalf of your factory or business, you can take certain steps to eliminate them. This is assessing current working condition. Second one, setting specific and measurable environment and goals. So what happens? You set certain goals that on part of our company, we will plant trees. Like for example, target 100 saplings every month or 10 saplings every week. So in this way also you can go for green management. Then thinking twice before you buy. That is, whatever you are buying, you should think twice. Suppose you go for a product, before buying, you should make sure whether the product is eco-friendly or not. So whether it contains any kind of plastics which are non-biodegradable. So you think twice. If it is eco-friendly, you buy. If it is not eco-friendly, you discard that product and go for an eco-friendly product. That is thinking twice before you buy. Making recycling easy. So whatever products you are using, after it is used, the leftover should be recycled in a very easy way. So you should make sure that whatever products you are producing as a business, the recycling of the waste should be easy so that it doesn't cause harm to the environment. Watching the power consumption. Obviously, you should watch the power consumption in the factory, because more power you consume, it is emitting more different kinds of radiations or air pollution, soil or water pollution. So what happens is, you should watch the power consumption so that you minimize the power consumption so that there is minimum pollution. That is the meaning. Next, switch energy supplies. That is, you can go for solar. Now the technology is such that solar energy can be converted into electric energy. So you can opt for that. That is very eco-friendly. So it will save money and also it will also save the environment. That is, switch energy supplies. Planting trees, as I have already explained. You can go for sampling. For example, you can go for on behalf of your company, you can go for a planting drive. So wherever there is less greenery, you can go for planting saplings over there. And cutting down on car journeys. That is, for example, you want to go to a supermarket. So you can cut down on the car, you can go by a walk or a bicycle. You can replace your two-wheeler or four-wheeler with a bicycle. That is also a good thing. Make use of technology. That is, there are high-end technologies today which causes zero pollution, zero air pollution, zero water pollution and zero soil pollution. So you can go for one-time investment of that technology in your business. That is the thing. Next, it is reviewing your suppliers. That is, when you are procuring raw materials from suppliers, you should make sure that the raw materials is eco-friendly, and you should also make sure that once you procure that raw materials, and your processing should also be eco-friendly. So you should review the raw materials from the suppliers and make sure that the raw materials is also eco-friendly. So these are the different ways or different actions that can be taken for green management. So with this, we are done with the syllabus of Management Principles and Practice for first year BBA. Thank you.